Alrighty. Looks like we're at it. Beautiful. Sweet. Hello, hello. Can you mic check, mic check? We're going to get started a minute early here. As you come in, do say hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I am traveling for the next few weeks, so we are doing these in different locations, but I've got a bit of a tech setup here. So let me know if you can hear me. And we got a lot to dive into, and we got 5 minutes to dive into it. I started a minute or two early, so y'all can get settled. We've got a report to go through, some charts to go through, and we're just going to look at the markets overall. I want to add, and can you hear me okay? Am I fairly clear? I want to make sure I am, because I know it can be annoying if you can't, if the audio is distracting. So do let me know if you can hear me. And as I get confirmation of that, we will get started. Good to go. Thank you for that. Yep. Oh, you can 100% farm in a bear. You can 100% hedge it. You can 100% use LPs to dollar cost average into the markets. But what I find, let me know if you've experienced this, when Twitter and when YouTube and when the news and everything is, I just saw something today of like a bunch of people were shouting, Bitcoin's going to zero and letting everyone know why. It's easy to get distracted from the ultimate mission. Now, you need a thesis. If you're an investor, does everyone here have a thesis? You have let's use a different word for it. You have a strategy, a long-term strategy. You're not just willy-nilly buying stuff or investing in things, hoping it goes up. You've got a strategy, a long-term strategy. And I think the macro of all of that, I agree, winter bargains have 100% began. And there could be some better bargains in the future, but honestly, anything under 70, 80, I'm happy with. Anything under $500,000 for BTC, I think is still a bargain. But of course, we want to make the best use of our capital. I'll add one thing. I know I can talk a lot. I just want to get into it. But the name here, I'm going to share my screen. The name of the game is this. I was drawing this out in some trading I was doing. The name of the game is this. On the left side of this line is people who earn income. On the right side of this line is people who own assets. That's it. We want to turn our income. That's it right here. Boop, I'll highlight sideways this into assets. And I'm not attached to what someone's overall strategy is. To me, all of these are valuable. We're talking stocks, equities, we're talking index funds, dividend funds, we're talking DeFi, a big fan of that, of course, liquidity pools, yield farming, staking, real estate. Personally, not a massive fan, although I do have exposure to real estate, mostly in terms of REITs and some fractional real estate, plus personal residence, which you can argue is not an investment, but and I am looking at some commercial right now, but it serves a purpose and it does cash flow. Anywho, multifamily, commercial, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, REITs, whatever, collectibles, watches, cars, classic cars, land, raw land, gold, silver, crypto, Bitcoin, but and this list could go on, because in 5 or 10 years, if there's a line here, this gap is getting bigger and bigger. That's my personal thesis. And so my job as an investor is to allocate my capital, my income, my dollars into things that will be worth more in the future, not only because of the depreciation of our cash, but because there's also a supply and demand on the assets that I'm purchasing. That's it. That's the game. And then not everyone will be the same, because I value freedom. Freedom is one of my highest values. And so I need to invest in ways that still offer me the freedom to get up and go, which is why I'm not massive into real estate, although you can do great. I don't want to be tied down on that front. I own gold digitally. I don't actually own physical gold, which you could argue is stupid, but I need to be able to get up. It's why I love Bitcoin. It's why I love crypto. It's why I love DeFi. It's why I love the digital space, the online space. All of that to me aligns with me. That doesn't align with everyone. So far, so good. Awesome. And as you come in, do let me know where you're from. And as I go through this report, do let me know what you'd like to see in the future. let's get back into it here. And I want to try to make them 5 minutes long because then I could probably commit to oftentimes doing them daily. Okay, let's just have a really, really quick look here. I mean, gold was wild, wasn't it? I had texts and emails coming in from people here saying, "Oh my God, I'm buying it." And humans are so predictable. It's really, really funny because we feel like we're missing the boat, so to speak. And I don't think I have ever since I kind of started looking at markets. I mean, it was wild. And that's gold we're talking about. That's gold we're talking about. It's settled down and it's hovering around the $5,000 mark. Silver, I don't even think is worth talking about. That is Bitcoin. We all know what's going on with Bitcoin. We're way under the 200-day moving average. And I know we bounced, at least my chart showed, we bounced just under $60,000 for a second, which is wild. Back to the 68. ETH, same kind of idea. Sol, SUI. These are, I mean, any chart we pull up for the most part's going to look fairly you can layer them on top. The ratios and the percentages may change, but the pattern remains the same. $2.27 in total market cap. Go over to DeFiBuddy.io and bookmark this now. Extreme Fear 9. I don't know the last time I saw under 10 for Extreme Fear. I'm pretty sure it was 2022. Now, people will look at Extreme Fear and say, oh, it's an opportunity to buy. They'll look at like maybe RSI and say, hey, Bitcoin is way oversold. Buy now. Just know those aren't 100% for sure accurate indicators. You can be undersold for a very long time, and we could absolutely see 60 and 50. But you have to go back to your thesis. For me personally, it's buying assets and holding them for a long term. And if I can get a bit of a better deal, a little winter special, a little February special, then I'm good with that. But I'm always looking 5-10 years out. So all of the short-term noise, for the most part, doesn't really interest me. It will just change the way that I approach liquidity pools, how I cash flow the assets, and how much of them I may buy at any given time. My DCA days are Friday. And last week I doubled down my DCA. This week I'm doubling down the amount I normally DCA into. And I am using LPs to DCA into. So my LP, I actually opened it yesterday. The floor is $50,000 and I'm happy to buy all the way down. What else do we got? Okay, cool. And I have this Intel brief that gets populated for me. This has been kind of months that I've been working on this. This is more for me, and it just works for me. So we can go through some of it. A lot of it is quite similar to yesterday's. Obviously, our dollar has spiked, which has caused a lot of what we're seeing. Tech and AI, I know a lot of guys in software, their valuations have plummeted, and investors are a little bit more cautious of investing in software. And obviously, a lot of the stock market got affected by that. So we're seeing that. I know that there was something like, yes, we were looking at on-chain data for whales. Whale wallets, we're talking 1,000 BTC plus, have accumulated 270,000 BTC over the last 30 days. We can't ignore that. Again, is any of this, again, we're not traders here. If you're looking for a trading group or the UIG, we're not traders. This YouTube channel is not trading. There's an element of it when you are making decisions on LPs and things of that nature. But for your long-term investing, we're not traders. We're not looking to make a quick flip here. But if I collect cars, and if I see the car market dropping drastically and some really good entries, then I'll double down on the amount of cars that I collect or buy or invest in, you can say. What else do we got that would be worth talking about? I know that I was watching MicroStrategy. I think they were down 13-14%. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Obviously, that correlates with Bitcoin, gold, silver, real estate, I have a quick little long-term investor reminder sent to me on a daily basis too, because it keeps me mentally, emotionally clear. And I like to take the whale mindset. So let's see what we got here. Wealth is not built by timing the top, nor is it trying to time the bottoms. It's built by absorbing the supply that others are forced to sell. Today's price action is a transfer from assets on paper hands to those who understand absolute scarcity. I'm not afraid of AI, but it's changing a lot of things. And I think in a very disruptive world, a world that's moving really fast, a world where tomorrow, like there's a very low level of certainty. I think the most certain thing we can do is invest in assets that have limited supply, that have some form of scarcity. It's why I invest in collector cars too. I bought something from the 60s. I have multiple things from the 60s. There's never going to be more of them. Precious metals, good example. I don't think they're the best example. BTCs and things of that nature. Again, I'm not telling you what to invest in. I'm just telling me. And then also remember, there's a massive shift. We talked about this yesterday. There's a massive shift. $100+ trillion of wealth moving from one generation to the next. Where is that money going to go? You want to position yourself now for that. Again, tech, AI, digital assets, crypto. To me, it's 100% for sure the future. The short term is always volatile. But long term, we've got to think long term. Let's go. I'm going to wrap it up with just how was this format? If you could just got a quick little 5-10 minute check-in, we can keep evolving this and making it more and more valuable. Work the plan, have the plan, and then work the plan. Stick to the plan. If you don't, you're just gambling. You're making just bets with no weight to it, no data behind it. If we can make that deal, I think we'll be in good hands. Sweet. There's a video coming out in 50 minutes or so that is going to be worth checking out. I log back in and check it out in 50 minutes here. It'll be worth checking out. Cool. With that said, I think we're going to wrap things up. If you haven't yet checked out, DeFi Buddy yet, make sure you do. Just bookmark it. It's free. Go to defibuddy.io and bookmark it. There's still a lot being built. Ooh, jumped up a little bit here. There's still a lot being built and a lot of really cool innovation happening with the tool. And we plan to keep growing this thing and growing the platform for the foreseeable future. So please do yourself a massive favor. Also, remember, we do have the hedging calculator. I did notice a few of y'all's mentioning hedging. If you do go into the hedging calculator, it is free. You do need an account. If you can actually, it does all the math for you. So if you want to protect your bets, protect the downside, and you want to remain, you'll never be delta neutral, but it's pseudo delta neutral or at least somewhat hedged. And then you can control those hedges. You can be, let me go back here. You can be over hedged if you want. If you're a little bit more bearish than bullish, so you can kind of over hedge your position and kind of play the game that way. Love it. There's also some massive upgrades happening inside the UIG. We're calling it the UIG 2.0 refresh, and there's a lot of really cool things happening. We're going to have an announcement out next week, so that'll be worth checking out. With that said, I will let y'all go, and give me feedback once this launches. If you're watching the replay, give me feedback, and if y'all's want to keep these going, then I'm sure we can do these a couple times per week. Sweet. Think long term, and don't forget that the game is won with the long-term approach, and that's it. If you don't, you're screwed. Very few people win the short-term game. You're very, very welcome. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk soon.